Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I am Ace,
And I am the Duke.
and this is another edition of
The Ace and the Duke Show, where we recap all the events that happened in the Triple F in the past.
probably about 3 weeks now. 2-3 weeks.
Most of this actually took place all in 1 week, so
Actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
this was all pretty much 1 week. This was a very content-filled week for the Triple F.
All the way from the 19th until today, it's only been like 4 days.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but
Yeah.
let's go.
4 days and all these matches. All right, let's do this. So, first off, let's talk about the most recent episode of Triple F TV that happened on the 19th of March, where we had 4 matches, one of them being the Money in the Bank match. So first off, we had the Ubiquitous Tornado versus Horatio, where Tornado got his revenge on Horatio for beating him before. So
Yes, and now the score is 1-1
between those two.
meaning they're going to have to fight out again to see who
Wins best 2 out of 3.
the best 2 out of 3, or has the upper hand for the moment at least.
Yeah.
And then we had the next match where the Future
Took on Paris
Newman
and beat him.
badly.
We'll just say he beat him, and this has just been a really, really action-filled week. I can't even store all the stuff that happened in my head.
But while we're on to Riley, just because honestly we're just going through all the matches here. We don't want to waste a lot of time, so let's keep moving.
All right. So up next we had
this one was a shocker.
Oh, I know, right? Paris
Dynamite Danny.
Dynamite Danny beating Paris Dahmer. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought?
No one ever.
Who'd have thought Dynamite Danny would win another match? I mean,
no one ever.
That's just absurd.
But next up, we have the main
event
of the evening.
We had
the Money in the Bank match,
where
6 men went in, and 1 man came out on top
with a briefcase.
With a briefcase.
A red briefcase. And those 6 men were Cody the Kid Brown, Doug Glatt, the Dark Passenger, the Real Deal, Tremor, and Vulcan. And out of these 6, the one that obtained that glorious red briefcase,
Doug Glatt,
who almost immediately cashed in his contract to face Danny at High Stakes 15. But we'll get there in just a minute, because the next matches we want to talk about are actually the rest of the tag team tournament. So first of all, let's go with round 2. This was the quarterfinals.
Boogie Watts.
1.21 Boogie Watts.
Which consists of Dynamite Danny and the Future.
So
think about that for a second.
It's like the most dominant tag team in this entire division. So obviously they beat Paris Dahmer and Paris Newman. So Paris and Paris are now beaten.
Yes.
The next match, Deadly Darkness, which consists of Horatio and Cody the Kid Brown, beat the Goons, which consist of Tremor and Doug Glatt. So, yeah. Deadly Darkness. I think we both called this one. I think we both called pretty much all these matches.
Yeah, pretty much. So far,
so good. The next match was the Dark Passenger and the Real Deal versus the New World Order. And, of course, like we predicted, the New World Order lost to the Dark Passenger and the Real Deal. Then up next we had a WWE tag team match between D-Generation X and Evolution, in which Triple H and Shawn Michaels soundly beat Randy Orton and Batista. So,
Batista! Boo! No, but seriously.
Now we're finally getting into the high stakes matches. Rounds 3 and 4, otherwise known as the semifinals and finals of this tournament, both took place during High Stakes 2015. So, let's get started. Round 3, the semifinals, 1.21 Boogie Watts versus Deadly Darkness, and the Dark Passenger and Real Deal versus D-Generation X.
Boogie Watts won.
And so did Dark Passenger and Real Deal, which means both of the
teams moved into the finals.
Both teams moved into the finals. I was
And-
actually kind of sad to see Deadly Darkness go. I think they really made a good team, and up to that point, I think they were probably the closest to beating this dominant force.
Yes, but also, up to this point, I think they were really dominant, but also that there's no way they can just be calm like that. We'll definitely see them again.
Oh, we'll definitely see these guys again. There's no doubt about it.
Sooner rather than later.
They make a good team. I think we're gonna see these guys again at some point. So,
But now on to the finals.
this was for the Triple F Tag Team Championship.
And everybody in the room was shocked.
Legitimately this time.
And
This
yes,
is a legitimate shock.
and yes, this was on the high stakes pay-per-view. But then again, it could have been its own thing because TDP and the Real Deal beat 1.21 Boogie Watts?
I never would have seen this coming. I honestly thought 1.21 Boogie Watts was going to go on to win the championship, and Dynamite Danny was going to have 2 championship belts around his waist. But no, the Real Deal and the Dark Passenger proved me wrong, and I think it also showed that these two, they can be beat. It's possible. You know,
It's not very.
it's not likely, but it's possible.
It's not very possible either, but
But these two did it, which means it's not impossible. So
not impossible, but not very possible.
it's not very likely to happen.
But yeah,
And then finally up next we have our 3 high stakes matches
That
that
weren't
weren't the
part-
tag team tournament. So first off we have the Fatal 4-Way Extreme Rules match. You know what, I'll just go ahead and say right now, all these matches are Extreme Rules.
yeah. That's the only way to say it.
This was pretty much an Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So this Fatal 4-Way included.
But again, I want to say this:
Okay.
for it to be Extreme Rules, we still didn't see that many chair shots or table shots or ladders or anything else like that, for the matter. But meh.
Well, anyway.
The first Fatal 4-Way was Vulcan, Trimmer, Newman, and Dahmer.
With the winner being Vulcan having pinned Tremor to win the match.
Boo!
I'm so sorry, Tremor. You just can't catch a break. You'll get it eventually.
You'll get it eventually, Trimmer. Alright, the next match.
Was a triple threat between Cody the Kid Brown, the Ubiquitous Tornado, and the Dark Passenger. And the winner is...
Cody the Kid Brown.
Who pinned
And he pinned
the Dark Passenger.
TDP. No, not DDP. TDP.
Yeah, we gotta make that difference here. We gotta be sure we're not talking about Diamond Dallas Page.
Back!
So, after that, Doug Glatt cashed in his Money in the Bank shot to challenge Dynamite Danny for the Triple F Heavyweight Championship. And the winner was...
There was a lot of back and forth, but the winner was the completely fucking obvious.
The champion keeps his title. Doug Glatt cashed in basically to just have a match. So that was pretty much all that's all the results for this past week. We know we kind of sped through this, but this was just so action-packed, so full of matches that
We couldn't really have time to talk about all of them, and we didn't want to waste too much time.
if we tried to talk about all these matches in detail, this would be a 40-minute video or longer, and we don't want to do that. We want to keep these at most maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, at most. But then again, we're done. So until next time, I am
Until
the
next
Ace,
time, and I am the Duke,
signing off.
and we'll see you later.